Hey there, this is the One Boom, and today we're going to be talking about quick play and why I want it gone. Open matchmaking and persistent lobbies have been a net positive on this game for me. I have noticed that even though my team balancing sucks, and I still get into some sweaty games, the diversity in players I'm bumping into online is leagues better than what I was bumping into in Black Ops 6, or MW3, or NW2, or COD Vanguard, or Cold War, or Modern Warfare 2019. It reminds me more of the skill-based matchmaking from like Advanced Warfare. Still pretty strict, giving you multiple back-to-back games where you're fighting full teams, or multiple back-to-back games where your teammates are licking windows, which was a common experience for me back then, but again, way more open than it has been. But this is the first time we've had persistent lobbies, open matchmaking, and quick play filters all in one game. And this is also the first time we've had all those things plus 24/7 mosh pits that seemingly never go away. This is hurting your lobbies and your matchmaking experience. I'm sure you guys have seen Exclusive Ace's trending skill-based matchmaking video for Black Ops 7 where he played 10 TDMs on a brand new account and 10 TDMs on his main account, which are two, of course, edge case accounts, one being no playtime, which is very different than just being a bad player or being a mediocre player or an inconsistent player. New players are treated completely differently. You're only a new player for your first 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, and then you stop being one. So he had an edge case account there and an edge case account as his main account because he is an above average high skill player with a lot of consistent performance under his belt. What's my point? Well, when he was matchmaking in his games, he basically just noticed that in his lobbies as a high skill player, not in the noob account, we actually saw higher pings overall throughout his matches. Basically, he had like one 20 millisecond ping match and the rest was higher. This is exactly my experience too when matchmaking for a single mode like he was. You see, when I go from TDM to Domination to Hardpoint to Nuketown to Face Off, my ping stays pretty low and my lobbies feel pretty mixed, but the moment I stay in a game mode for any longer than I apparently should have, I run into the problem that's actually plaguing the game, and that is the quick play filters. You see, people are comparing their pings to what they had in the beta, which is really funny because the beta had like 2 mosh pits, one for hardcore, one for core. Nobody was playing standard mosh pit, so really it was just SND, open mosh pit, and open hardcore mosh pit, and that was just about fucking it. With an entire population of an open beta piling into one mosh pit or maybe 2 mosh pits, everyone's ping was lower because obviously the game doesn't have to stretch that hard to pair you with the right person. But now we have persistent lobbies. See, in Black Ops 7's beta, we didn't have persistent lobbies, which means after every game, everybody's entering the matchmaking pool again in the same mosh pit. Whereas now, if 12 people finish a TDM and they decide they want to play again, those 12 people are locked out of the matchmaking pool, making the matchmaking pool more strict. Every time a match finishes, and more than half the lobby stays together in the same lobby, those are 6 people that are not re-matchmaking. The game has to matchmake to pull people into that lobby, but those people are still connected to each other and they're still voting and waiting for the next map. But then it's mixed with the inconsistencies of other people using multiple game modes in their quick play filter. So you play with somebody who's in free-for-all, and you have a couple really good games against them, and you really want to rematch them, and you really want to play against them again. And then you realize that they don't just have free-for-all selected because they get bumped out, and then you don't see them for another 3 matches when they come back to free-for-all after playing some hardpoint. When you select multiple game modes and you search for a new lobby, it takes you out of the game mode you're in. So every time you're playing, let's say, Search and Destroy, and you're playing with people that have Search and Destroy and, let's say, 2 other game modes selected, and they decide to re-matchmake, or they just back out, eat a pizza roll, and come back, or the game kicks them out of the lobby for whatever reason. It does that sometimes too, which I don't even know how I'd make a video on that or even bring that up. It seems completely indiscriminate when it decides to kick me out of a lobby. Either way, when they rematchmake, they're not getting into your game mode, so that player is kicked out of the game mode you're trying to search for. So your ping, as you keep playing in lobbies and as you either stay in the lobby or rematchmake for a new lobby, your ping gets higher and higher because it has to open your ping window. It basically has to say, okay, no matches on the nearest server to you, what about the next nearest server? Okay, there's a match there, you play that one, you stay in that lobby, and then it pulls people in because it has to fill your lobby and some people are bound to back out after a game, and hopefully they're from your region because you're on your next nearest server, so you're maybe like double your normal ping or like 10 milliseconds higher than your normal ping, and then it's pulling people into your lobby, and hopefully it's not their next nearest server because they might have 10-20 milliseconds extra ping, making a overall worse match quality, but the game is just trying to get you into a match quickly. See, the reason the matchmaking times, as far as I can figure, are so weirdly long in this game compared to the beta is that it's not looking for a match, it's waiting for a match, is the better way to look at it. It's waiting for those lobbies that are persisting to have people back out so it can put somebody in, which is way easier to do when people are locked into the game mode they selected to play. When you remove the variable of people having multiple game modes selected, you have people that are in the TDM playlist, in the domination playlist, in the S&D playlist, and even if they search for a new lobby, they're still filling the S&D player pool, the team deathmatch player pool, the free-for-all player pool. See what I'm saying? The problem is right now a lot of people play with all of the game modes selected or just their favorites, because that just makes sense, right? Oh, I love domination and hardpoint, so I'll select those. I like kill confirmed and team deathmatch, I'll do those. Or I want to get ready for ranked. I want to play CDL mode, so I'll have Overload and Hardpoint and S&D selected. That's how most people use Quick Play. And Quick Play made a lot of sense when lobbies weren't persisting. But now, unfortunately, the persisting lobbies are locking people out of the matchmaking pool, and the matchmaking pool is constantly gaining and losing and gaining and losing and gaining and losing players because of that multiple game mode selection option. This needs to go away. This needs to die. This needs to burn. It needs to go away. It is an archaic, unfortunate remnant of the past, an unfortunate remnant of the removal of persistent lobbies, and it does not mesh with persistent lobbies. Modern Warfare 2 tried this, which is really funny. You know, people think that Infinity Ward is going to bring back skill-based matchmaking and get rid of persisting lobbies. Those people don't remember that Modern Warfare 2 introduced a stay with squad function, and it just didn't really work. Voting to stay with a team in a game where everybody has different game modes selected and sort of also just have that mentality of, okay, well now I've had my TDM matches, I want my hardpoint matches, now I'm going to back out. You know, it just didn't work. It didn't mesh. And that's the human side of it. So a lot of people that came back to COD in 2019 have been trained to back out after every game, rematchmake after every game. They're used to it, they're normal to it. And that needs to change. There's that technical element of the matchmaking pools getting smaller, which means the matchmaking has to open your ping windows wider. But there's also the human element of we need to train people to commit to the game mode they want to play. And if they don't want to play in TDM anymore, then go play domination and populate that mode's pool. You think that, well, people are gonna still back out of games and search for other game modes, and what's the difference, right? It's sort of just the training of it all. It's you don't want people to be encouraged to think that every match should be a different game mode, because that's sort of the encouragement that's happening right now. Kind of like how everybody thinks they should have all the mastery camos and all of the prestige levels done in the first week because of stuff like shipment and stakeout and even, I'll admit it, Nuketown 24/7. You train players into thinking that everything's going to work a certain way, they get really pissy when you change it. But the change is important for the health of the game overall. So the reason the game feels like it's giving you worse lobbies or it feels like it's stricter matchmaking is because the player pools are all fucked up between the lobbies persisting and everybody having a different variation of game modes selected. In fact, there's like 3,000 variations here, right? You have, I'm only gonna play TDM and free-for-all. No, only free-for-all and S&D. No, only free-for-all and hardpoint. No, only hardpoint and domination. No, only domination and search and destroy. Only overloaded and hardpoint. Only kill confirmed and TDM. Only TDM and S&D. Only S&D and overload. And there's like thousands of combos here, or I'm gonna have all of them selected, or only one of them selected, and this is affecting the player pool quite a bit. I mean, why do you think that people thought the mosh pit at the launch of this game was less sweaty than Quick Play? Because Quick Play is struggling to fucking find you players. And because the mosh pit is gonna kick you out of a game mode after a match or two, you're not populating the player pools of the other game modes for longer than a match. And if people persist in that lobby, then that lobby's closed. Those 12 people are separated from the matchmaking pool. So you're only finding the people that are doing what? Lobby shopping. You're only finding the people that are matchmaking. Those are the people you're most consistently running into. The people that just sort of turn their brain off and play hours of COD without ever hitting the back button to get out of the menu. They're just riding the wave from game mode to game mode, match to match, and you're matching up with people that leave games when they're too hard, that look for easier lobbies, that are trying to get challenges completed and streaks called in, and it's very obvious. I don't know why people are comparing Quick Play to mosh pits I don't know where the critical thinking error is here, but mosh pit plus quick play plus persistent lobbies means the matchmaking pool is just fucking weird. In my experience, it lines up with Exclusive Ace's SBMM testing. I play a match, it's like 20 millisecond ping, and then my next matches are like 40, 40, 40, 50, and then it's like, it goes down. It's like, oh, here's a 20. It found a 20, because one opened up. But because it's trying to get me into a game as fast as possible, it just throws me into the first one it can find, and that's not always going to be in my region, especially if I'm playing late at night, or if I'm playing at just weirder times of the day. So there's a couple ways they could fix this. First of all, just fucking get rid of quick play. Have just the game mode be selectable, and that's it. And then have mosh pits where all of the players are sort of intermingling. If you're in a mosh pit that has TDM kill confirmed domination, you play with some kill confirmed players, you play with some domination players, and some TDM players, and you rotate out, and that's fine. It's a mosh pit. But stop letting people just select like any random assortment of game modes. I mean, hell, in hardcore, you can select any assortment of game modes plus hardcore mosh pits. And I know that it's just the matchmaking trying to find me a game and not worrying too much about my skill, because the ping increase has no correlation to a difficulty increase. If I ever did the testing for this, I would share my KDs on these higher ping lobbies. It's not really any lower. I'm not fighting scary, sweaty people. My team still sucks, that's just how the EOMM works, but my lobbies aren't any harder. It's just that my ping is now worse and the match is now a little shittier. So there, rant complete, rant over. Quick play segregates players. Persisting lobbies does not compute with quick play. People need to be encouraged to search for a singular game mode at a time, and not just let the game whisk them away randomly when they hit B a couple times on their controller. Or circle, for those of you with divorced parents or whatever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye!
Nice, good shit, you beat her. Finally. Appreciate that for the boys.